We're already started. All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Big waves out there. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. So, I want to tell you, it's good to be on your toes. It keeps us alive, right? How many of you feel like you got plenty to do today? Plenty of things going on. Yes, yes, yes. That's great. That keeps us alive, keeps us breathing, keeps us getting after it. So, speaking of that, Coach Myra wanted us to talk about this today: habits of highly successful people. She actually sent me that a couple of days ago when I was out of the country. And I love it. I love researching, I love studying, I love reading about people of success, not just financial success, but there's a lot of success that's not just centered around money. But I actually researched a little bit about habits of highly successful people, and it had to do with self-made millionaires. Okay. And so I want you to think about this morning. If you're taking notes or maybe you watch the replay of this, think about yourself. I always challenge you to do that. But think about how many of these 9 habits, okay, that were taken from 233 self-made millionaires. It was a survey done. And a guy his last name was Corley, did this survey, 233 self-made millionaires, 9 qualities that all of these had that were similar. Okay, is everybody following me? Think about yourself right here, because odds are you're going to be able to check off some boxes of the 9. But ask yourself, can you check off all 9? And if not, then you'll know the areas that you can work on and self-develop on and improve on. And I'm talking to myself here, okay? So here we go. Number 1, they get up early. They get up early. Now, here's what they do. When I research this and I research these people, they do personal projects early. They plan their day early. And a lot of them exercised early. So think about that. Personal projects, plan their day, exercise early. And it was a resounding, we love the quiet time in the morning where there's no cell phone ringing, there's no emails getting moved. It's just time with myself. Think about that. Number 2, 233 self-made millionaires. Number 2, they read a lot. They read a lot. And here's what was ironic. The majority of them, almost 98%, still read instead of audio. They said they audio, but they love to still read in books. Most of them read 30 minutes each day. They took little segments and they read during that little segment, just like it was their job, Vince. It was their job to self-develop. It was their job to educate themselves. Most of them said, rather than pleasure read. Now, before you judge me here, because I know a couple that love to pleasure read. The majority said they spend most of their time doing biographies and studying people and educating on how they can improve their leadership skills. But they said they do take time to do pleasure reads. Okay. They just don't use all of their reading 30 minutes every day to pleasure read. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 3, they spend 15 to 30 minutes each day on focused thinking. Most of them spent 15 minutes. Most of them said they went into their office and they cut their lights off for 15 minutes. They cut their lights off, they shut their eyes, and they got in isolation with their self. How many of you could do that? Maybe you work in an office. Maybe it's a challenge for you and you're going to have to get up early to do this isolation. They reflected on their career during this time. They reflected on their health, and they reflected on their personal relationships. That is a box that I need to check off, and I can't right now because I don't do that as much. I have done that at a point, but I don't right now. Number 4, they make exercise a priority. They make exercising a priority, at least 30 minutes a day, biking, running, walking, but they treat it like their job. They've got to get in events. They got to get in their exercise. They value that so much. Number 5, I'm going to move a little faster because I think Coach is with us now. They spend time with people that inspire them. Successful people, listen to this now. This is huge. Here's what all the 233 self-made millionaires said. Successful people will volunteer their time to help you. If you're willing to listen and be a student, they will volunteer their time. You just must ask. Does that make sense? I thought that was pretty profound. Number 6, they pursue their own goals. They plan their work and then they work their plan. 100% of the 233 said they proclaimed to be a millionaire and then they figured out how to make it happen. That's a very wow factor, especially for the analytical thinkers in the world that's got to have everything planned out. They plan to be a millionaire and then they figure out how. Number 7, they get enough sleep. This is another one of mine. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is critical to success. And probably the people that know me the best would say, yeah, you need to do a little better on that. I think it's quality of sleep, what I put in my mind before I go to sleep. Yeah, just throwing myself under the bus. Number 8, they have multiple streams of income. They don't. So ask yourself right now, do you have multiple streams of income? They don't rely on just one stream, all eggs in one basket. Why? Because when the economy has a downturn, you will be okay with multiple streams. Multiple streams. I could brag on our industry, but I'm not going to this morning, but that is a form of another stream of income. Real estate, things like that. Number 9, they avoid time wasters. This is another one of mine. I get guilted into time wasters. And when we invest our time in anything, it's lost forever. Think about that now. When we invest our time, 30 minutes of this Coach's Corner is an investment, or 15 minutes. That time that we invest will be lost forever. How are we investing it? I'll tell you this is a great investment into the tank. But today, this afternoon, I'm doing a time waster because someone, well, let's just say this. I'm doing a time waster. I'm being honest with you because I was guilted into wasting that time. I'll never get that time back. Successful people really hold tight their time throughout the day on where they're investing it. So those are the 9 things. Did you think that was pretty profound? I really did. As I researched that, I went, man, I'm thankful that Myra had us look at that. And I'm going to leave you with this. I know I went over. I'm here to tell you to avoid putting your ladder on someone else's wall and then spending the best years of your life climbing it. Find your own ladder, your own dreams, your own goals, and pursue them. Climb your own ladder up your own wall. That's what those 233 self-made millionaires, that was the advice they gave. Hope that made sense. Coach, I'll turn it to you.
All right. I don't even know if Brent saw my text to him this morning, but I told him, I said, I'm going to be coming in on two wheels with my hair on fire. So I avoided my hair being on fire, but I apologize, y'all. It just seems like here lately, I have just been running like a wildcat. So anyway, like Brent said, this is such an important part of my day every day. So, and I wanted to give a shout out to Val. We're going to go with your word tomorrow. So it's going to be a good one. So we're going to talk about successful people. Brent, your points were just fantastic and always are. But the first thing, I'm going to give you several points to talk briefly about everyone. Successful people have patience. Okay, y'all are all successful because you're patient with me right now, because you don't ever know if I am coming in on two wheels or coming in hot or whatever. So thank you for your patience in that. But you got to be super, super patient if you want to be successful. And you just have to understand that sometimes bumps are in the road, but you just keep on keeping on. So be patient. You know, here's something that a lot of people are scared of, but if we want to be successful, we have to think big. And I think I've learned many lessons from Brent and Todd and Andrea and Chris, but they are big thinkers. And I am beginning to become a bigger thinker and having confidence and trust that the big ideas that I have, you have, they are capable. We are capable of getting them. So most successful people that you come across are really big thinkers. So keep that in mind. Successful people, and I love this, successful people are self-confident, but not arrogant. How many of us, you don't have to raise your hand, I know a lot of very successful people that are very arrogant too. And it's a turnoff. I don't want to hear one thing from them. I don't care what they've got in their bank account. I don't care how big a car they have or house. They're a turnoff because it goes past successful. They are very arrogant. I also know people that are very successful that are confident and they are very humble. So that's the successful person we want to latch on to. Successful people are very generous. You know, and there's a ton of ways to be generous. I think of, so many people, but, I think Dr. Crystal Vance probably does as good a job as anybody on portraying generosity consistently. I watched a video of hers this morning that she did last night. You know, she's giving stuff away all the time out of the goodness of her heart, but you can look at her success rate and you see some humbleness. So she's super, super successful. And I'm just honored to call her friend. You know, and like Coach said, and this is the area that I have to do a better job of, successful people have to have super willpower. And that goes into everything we do. You got to have willpower to get outside, go somewhere, get you 30 minutes in. Some days I do, some days I don't. I'm just calling a spade a spade. I'm just being honest. It's tough sometimes. But that's real important. We have to have a break from the daily grind, and that is a refreshing way to do it. Successful people are optimistic. You know, I don't care if you get up and step right in a pile of poop. You know, guess what? You got to turn that into optimism. Well, that way you're going to have to wash your shoes now. You've been putting it off for a long time, but now because you stepped in that poop, guess what? You're going to get some clean shoes. So another thing, successful people keep their commitments. You know, I'm going to talk about Brent right here. He's talking about time he's wasting today or time that's not good, that's taken away from something he could do productive, but he's keeping his commitment. And that's important. And thank you, Brent, for sharing that. You know, successful people are strong communicators. You think about the people that you know that are ultra successful, highly successful. Do they put you to sleep? Again, you know, do they put you to sleep? They got that big high bank account and you're sitting there with toothpicks in your eyes, but, you know, they just don't communicate with you well. So they got to be strong communicators. Successful people also have to be very, very flexible. You know, we talk about they keep commitments, but guess what? Sometimes things happen and they have to be flexible. They have to be flexible. Two more things. Successful people take risk and always think winning thoughts. Always. We all hit down times, but if we want to be successful, we have to work to think of the winning thoughts. Might not happen right now, but you know what? It's going to happen in a year. Winning thoughts. Keep your focus there. And the last thing, which in my opinion, there's so many more, and I'm glad Brent and I didn't really stumble upon each other so much with our thoughts. We had some different areas, but to me, this is the most important one. Successful people that are day in and day out, you see all of these qualities. I promise you, they know their why. They know their why. And I think that's the most important thing of all these lists is we have to know our why. So thank every one of you for being part of my why. You start my day every day with on a bright note. So I love you all. Hope you have a great, great day.
Coach, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. And I know, I went a little bit long, but I want to give away something this morning because one of the things before you jump off, one of the things is this looking at highly successful people. I'm so glad Coach had us do this, but I took a course called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a binder, it's a course. And it's one of those, is there anybody on here that's done that? Done this book? Yeah. So, I want to give this away this morning to somebody. So, I will send this to you. Let's hashtag habits. Habits. This is going to bless somebody's life here this morning because you're going to go through this. It's going to make a big difference for you. Habits. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. It's Andrea Rosser. Who's the big winner today of the book? Actually, this is a course.
For your prize.
I didn't hear you.
Did I talk the whole time?
You did. I just now heard.
We didn't hear you.
Kelsey is the winner, but I don't see her last name. So I need to know.
Kelsey Hollingsworth, right there.
Oh, woohoo! So I just
Kelsey, congratulations.
Kelsey.
But little Emmett, I see little Emmett. Love on that baby for me.
Hey, Kelsey, this book changed a portion of my life years ago. It's a course. It is amazing. I would highly recommend you to invest in yourself and get you this. Kelsey, I'm getting it for you. If you will, text Andrea your address, and we're sending you this course to use. It's going to be awesome. So, guys, we love you. We're grateful for you. And Myra Miles, are you still on?
I am. What's up?
I can't see you on my iPad, but I just want to tell you this. You're going to kill me for saying this. You look great. You look great. You gotta come in saying you're hot mess on fire, but honest to goodness, you look really good this morning.
Well, thank you, Brent.
Wanted to tell you that. That might have made you blush, but I was just thinking as you was talking, I was like, man, you look great. So, all right, let's have a great day. Let's go rock the
Bye,
world.
y'all.
Love you.
Love you.